Let's bring in Lieutenant Colonel Hal Kempfer, a retired Marine Corps reservist and the CEO of CIP, that's a strategic risk management firm. Hal, nice to have you with us. Hal, North Korea canceling Wednesday's summit with South Korea over those South Korean military drills, also threatening to cancel its meeting with the U.S. What do you make of it?
Well, Michelle, it's classic North Korea, tradecraft, if you will, diplomatic tradecraft. They create something and then they take it away. They build expectations and then they use that as a bargaining chip to try and get other concessions. For years, decades, they have always railed against not just Kim Jong-un, but his father and his grandfather would rail against these regular military exercises that the United States does with the Republic of Korea. These are kind of fixed in cement. We actually have these codified under treaty that we do these exercises. This is part of the armistice discussions, was that we do these exercises. So for them to use, to create this kind of sudden, hey, we're having this meeting with South Korea, expectations get high, and then all of a sudden they throw this thing out saying, oh, we're going to cancel it because of these exercises. This is classic North Korean diplomatic propaganda tradecraft.
Do you think that Kim will actually go so far as to cancel the June 12th meeting with President Trump?
I wouldn't rule that out. I'm a little dubious that, well, let's just put it this way. I'm not surprised he would say that. I would be more surprised if it actually happens. He's basically just trying to create pressure on the United States to get us into the role of making concessions prior to that event. I'm sure in his mind, he thinks he's made a lot of concessions already, so he's trying to even the tables.
Well, Hal, this is contrary to how South Korea presented the situation ahead of President Trump agreeing to the meeting. In April, the South Koreans said that Kim Jong-un said that he understood that these military exercises would continue. So did the South Koreans get it wrong, or have the North Koreans just changed their mind, do you think?
I think it's the latter. I think the South Koreans read the situation correctly. I have no doubt that they asked about this in very direct terms, and North Korea said whatever North Korea said, and then he's looking at it and says, okay, everybody's kind of leaning this direction, there's lots of expectations. Okay, now we'll throw this out there and see what we can get.
So if this meeting doesn't happen, where does that leave things? The one between Kim Jong-un and the president, that is.
Well, if it doesn't happen, one thing very positive is that there are discussions. Secretary Pompeo went over there as Secretary Pompeo, but also as the CIA director, and has had meetings. That's very positive. Of course, releasing of the 3 Americans that were being held by North Korea is very positive. And if it doesn't happen on June 12th, there is momentum for something happening. And I don't know that Kim Jong-un really wants to turn this thing completely around. One thing I'm looking at in the background was he just went over to China this last week, and I'm wondering if some of the timing of what he's saying today was tied to some of the discussions he may have had in China.
Interesting. And to your point, the U.S. and South Korea have been conducting these military drills since the armistice. Hal Kempfer, always nice to have you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
All right.